Welcome to the ArmCare app and the future of ArmCare. In this video, we'll give you a quick tour of the app and point out some key features that will help you along the way. Let's start with the three key metrics on the home screen: strength, fatigue, and recovery. And all players know the importance of strength, fatigue, and recovery on performance and health, but now you can actually track and measure this data. Because strength matters most, well, let's start there. The arm score is your overall arm strength factored in for your size and weight. Combines the strength of your entire arm into one easy to understand score. The higher the number, the stronger and healthier you are. The goal for arm score is to be over 70. Now below the arm score, you will see three buttons that provide more details on a player's strength profile. They are SVR, which stands for strength velocity ratio, arm strength, and shoulder balance. The strength velocity ratio, or SVR, shows the relationship between your arm strength and max throwing velocity. Research shows that increases in velocity also increase stress on the elbow. To protect the arm from injury, you have to be gaining strength as you increase velocity, and the strength velocity ratio will help keep you on track. If your SVR is below 1.6, our training programs will focus on raising total arm strength. If you're above 1.6, then you may be eligible for velocity enhancement training. Next is arm strength. Arm strength breaks down your arm score into its components. By breaking it down, you can see where to focus your strength gains. Your arm strength scores are shown as relative strength, which takes the strength for a specific test, measured in pounds, and divides it by a player's body weight. Relative strength is important for health. As the body grows, throwing arm strength must also increase to improve resistance to strains and sprains. Optimal relative strength for internal and external rotation is 20% of your body weight, while scaption and grip strength should be at least 15% of your body weight. If you're low in these values, there will be yellow or magenta colored box around the value, and the app will automatically trigger exercise prescriptions to make improvements. The last strength metric is shoulder balance. Now, have you ever heard the phrase, your ability to accelerate your arm is limited by your ability to decelerate your arm? This is what shoulder balance score is all about. Shoulder balance compares the strength of your accelerators, which are your internal rotators, to the strength of your decelerators, which are your external rotators. The optimal range for shoulder balance is between 0.85 and 1.05, with the ultimate goal being 1.0, which means your accelerators and decelerators are equal in strength. If your ratio is below 0.85, your decelerators are weak compared to your accelerators. If your ratio is above 1.05, it means your accelerators are weak compared to your decelerators. The wider the strength gap between the shoulder accelerators and decelerators, the higher the risk of injury. Now let's move over to fatigue, which is the second key metric. Research has shown that pitching while fatigued increases injury risk by 36 times. So we created the fatigue metric to help you avoid it. Players fatigue at different rates, and until now, coaches couldn't quantify how fatiguing a pitching or throwing session was, but now they can. The fatigue score compares a player's strength before an outing to their strength afterward. They do this by taking a post-exam immediately following their throwing session. The fatigue scores are shown as a percentage of strength retained. This paints a picture of how a player's arm responded to a specific throwing load. In this case, the pitcher retained 88% of his strength after throwing 75 pitches in a game. The goal is to retain more than 90% of your strength. If you're below 90%, you can make adjustments to your workloads for future outings and training. The last key metric is recovery. While arm fatigue measures the effect of a single outing or bullpen, recovery takes a holistic approach to measuring arm health by monitoring strength changes week over week. The recovery score shows the difference between your most recent fresh exam versus your average. If your recovery score is a positive number, it means you are gaining strength and you're recovering well. If the recovery score is a negative number, now in this case, negative 10.7, you are showing signs that your recovery is less than optimal. Changes to sleep and nutrition, as well as reducing pitch counts or pushing bullpens back, may be needed in short term to help improve recovery.